Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Desiree Van Bogart with Desired Health Chiropractic, and today I have with me Stephanie Ewells from Out of the Woods Nutrition, and we're going to talk about digestion today, and she's going to talk about some fun stuff, especially some poo. So stay tuned, this is going to be kind of fun. So Stephanie, why don't you give us Digestion 101 a little bit to start?
Okay, so I have my little handy chart here, which you can see pretty well. So digestion typically starts not in your stomach, but it starts in your brain first and foremost with the idea of your food coming to you. So you're thinking about food, you're smelling food, and that triggers something in your brain that says, oh, food is coming. I better get ready to digest this food. So that will actually trigger your mouth to create saliva, which is where we initially start to digest carbohydrates. So any of your vegetables, your fruits, any of your refined carbohydrates, they get digested first in your mouth with an enzyme in your saliva.
Cool. Yep.
So
smelling the barbecue, so we're ready for some of that.
Yep, we're smelling the barbecue, so our brain is saying, oh, it's time to eat. So we're salivating, and then it's triggering our stomach to create gastric juices. So we are putting food in our mouth, so we're eating, we're chewing, and in order for digestion to work really, really well, you have to chew really, really well. So I always tell people, this is a lot, but 20 to 30 chews per bite is enough to let you really break it down good, so your body doesn't have to work all that hard to break it down for you.
Cool.
Because sometimes,
a lot of chewing.
Yep, a lot of chewing. It can take some time then for you to finish a meal, which is supposed to be normal. No, not in this day and age do we take the time to eat.
To actually sit down and enjoy our food and process it. Yes.
Yes. So we're wanting to chew it really, really well. And then when we swallow it, it's going into our stomach. And from here, we're breaking it down even further with stomach acid. And if you happen to have maybe a little bit of acid reflux or GERD or heartburn when you eat, it's almost always because you're not making enough stomach acid and not because you have too much. There's a doctor, his name is Jonathan Wright. He wrote a book called Why Stomach Acid is Good for You. And he actually did a gastric test where they had his patients swallow something that measures the level of stomach acid in their stomach. And almost every one of his patients that he did that with had not enough stomach acid rather than too much. So you need lots of stomach acid to break your food down.
Broken up?
Yeah, if you're getting heartburn or experiencing GERD or acid reflux, it's generally because your food is just sitting in your stomach and it's not acidic enough to go down into your small intestine, so it's just sitting there, putrefying or acidifying, and you'll get some I don't want to say backwash, but I guess it's the only way I can describe it, of the acid. And so, and then it's, once you eat again, what's in your stomach is forced into your small intestine anyways. So we go from our stomach into our small intestine, which is actually this smaller bits in the center, if you can see that. Yeah, that's your small intestine. And so that is where most of your food is absorbed. Through these little finger-like protrusions in your small intestine called microvilli. So we're chewing, we're breaking our food down really, really well. It's going into our small intestine. And this is the most acidic place in our body. And as soon as it's released into the small intestine, it's neutralized with actually sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda, basically. So that doesn't then end up burning your small intestine. Lining of your small intestine.
Go out to the body and okay.
So we're absorbing all of our nutrients from our food in our small intestine, and then it goes into our colon, which is this bigger section here, and I'll get that close-up view for you.
This outer one here.
Yep.
So hard to do when you're not looking at it.
Yep. That's your colon, and that's where a lot of your toxins end up going, so that when you have an elimination or a bowel movement, they're leaving your colon through your anus. And we need to have plenty of water and fiber in our diet in order for this process also to go smoothly and to have, excuse me, regular eliminations.
Okay.
Yep. So we're going to put this down.
Okay. So now, are you going to talk a little bit about eliminations?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, before we get started on this, what are some of your favorite sources of fiber?
So if you are wanting to supplement with fiber, you can do psyllium husk or you can do chia seeds.
Okay.
And of course, vegetables. All of your vegetables have lots of really good fiber. Yes, and especially for women who are still cycling, you want to do lots and lots of fiber because that will help pull any extra estrogen out of your system out through your bowels. So fiber, 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 vegetables, 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 broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, celery, carrots. I'm trying to think. I just had some fennel. I like to roast vegetables. So that's my favorite way.
Good time of year for that.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about poo. What do we got here?
So we have, I teach a class where we talk a lot about poo. And this, let's see if I put it over here, you can see this better.
All right, what do we got? What tell us about these?
These are normal stools. This is what your stool should look like. This is a 3 and a 4 on the Bristol stool chart, and you can Google Bristol stool chart. It's some doctor that made it up, and these are what normal stools should look like. When you go to the bathroom, you should have, these are really supposed to be from the length of your forearm, from your wrist to your elbow. So it should be really this long.
So should we measure it in the toilet here?
Yes.
Okay.
So you should have no trouble going. It should come out with ease in a matter of seconds. And there should be really nothing on the paper when you wipe. That is a normal elimination. If you have anything other than that, there's something up with your digestion and you want to kind of think what's going on.
Okay, let's talk about abnormal stools.
Okay. So we all know, we've maybe seen this here in our stool. This is on the verge of constipation. This is more like pellets that are, I'm trying to get it over here.
Yeah, over here. So this looks like kind of like a corn on the cob or something.
Yeah,
but
kind of like a corn on the cob.
You can see it's kind of...
It's still together, but a lot of the water has been reabsorbed in through our colon. And what happens when we have something like this sitting in our colon too long is we're reabsorbing toxins, because the whole point of elimination is to get rid of all the things that aren't serving our body well, right? So toxins are getting reabsorbed, the water's getting reabsorbed, and that's why it is sort of hard and pellety looking. Okay. And so ways you can avoid this is, again, fiber, lots and lots of water. We should be drinking around half our body weight in ounces of water a day.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah, stay hydrated. And chewing really well. That's going to help things break down really well. So you should be checking in the toilet if you have any food in your stool, you're not chewing hard enough or well enough, or maybe you're not making enough stomach acid.
So not only does this look like corn on the cob, you probably see some corn in there.
Corn on the cob in there as well. Yes.
All right, what else we got?
Okay, so now we're going to see even more pellets.
Ooh, this looks like a rabbit turd.
Yes. So you may see those in the toilet, and maybe sometimes they even float. If they're floating, then there's an issue with fat digestion. So maybe your gallbladder's not working so well, and you need some help digesting your fats.
Floating stools.
Floating stools is fat malabsorption, so there's some issues with your liver and your gallbladder. So we make bile in our liver and we store it in our gallbladder, and whenever we eat something really fatty, that there's a signal, a hormone that gets released that says there's fat coming, and we then release some bile to help emulsify it or break it down, and then we can absorb that better. So fat soluble vitamins, if you're not digesting your fats well, you're not getting your A, your D, your E, or your K either. So very important to make sure that you're digesting fat and eating some good healthy fats as well.
Okay, so avoid the rabbit stools.
Yes, so that is constipation. And now we have the other end of the spectrum, when things are moving too fast through our stool, and that is some sort of, it's really loose and
kind of broken up.
Broken up and kind of flat. And
flat.
yeah. maybe ribbony, so that can indicate maybe an obstruction, or maybe you ate something that didn't agree with you and your body says, get it out. Yeah,
Yes.
so we're releasing it really quickly. And too much of that, you can end up with an electrolyte deficiency because you're losing too much water.
Gotcha.
And then this is another form of, basically this is diarrhea. So we're looking at very soft, watery stools coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely avoid that. Yeah.
Yep. And that's generally, and this is very similar again. It's just more of the ribbony type of flat stools.
Okay.
Yeah. So
frequency of stools. What do you usually, when you're looking at the normal stools here, what do you usually tell people is considered normal frequency as far as bowel movements go?
1 to 2 a day. And usually they're happening in the morning. That's really the most common time that you're getting rid of everything. But yeah, 1 to 2 a day, and you should be getting rid of whatever you ate. So if you're eating something right now, it should be 16 to 24 hours from now that's leaving your body.
So you'll see that corn, you know.
Yes, and you can actually do a test on that. You can do a transit time test, we call it. So if you wanted to eat some corn, I would recommend organic corn, of course.
Of course.
Then you don't chew it, but maybe you swallow about a half a cup of corn in the morning, and then you write down what time you ate it, and then you look for it to leave your body. So you write down the first time you see it when it leaves your body, and the last time you see it. And that last time between that last time and the time you ate it is how long it's taking for food to leave your body.
Through your system. Huh?
Yeah.
Probably you do that with kale or something too.
Something really leafy, or you can do it with beets or sesame seeds is another thing.
Great. Yeah. All right. And then you also brought some other fun stuff. So tell us what other nutrition or digestion aids we have.
So aids for digestion, apple cider vinegar. This is my favorite. This is Greg's apple cider vinegar with the mother. It's raw.
Let me show this. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but if you look at like all that stuff in there that's supposed to be in there.
Yes, so it's raw apple cider vinegar, so it means it hasn't been pasteurized, and so you're getting all this goodness. Basically, if you're familiar with kombucha, which is a fermented tea, this is kind of similar, only it doesn't taste as good.
It's not, yeah.
But you can take, you could do like a tablespoon of this in about 4 ounces of water about 20 minutes before you eat. And that will help you digest your food. It's a really great starter if you think you're not digesting your food very well. This is a good place to start.
Yeah. And you can get this anywhere.
Really, any grocery store has this.
Very
I know a client of mine buys his at Aldi, and it's not Bragg's, it's Aldi brand, but you can get raw apple cider vinegar at Aldi too. So
cool.
That's one thing. Another thing you can do is a little bit of lemon. So you can squeeze a little bit of lemon into a cup, a mug, and add some warm water to it, and you can drink that. Ideally in the morning is a great time to do that because it'll get your digestion going.
Drink it with your tea.
Yep, drink it with your tea, and then you can also do a little bit of lemon water before you eat, and that will help kind of get your digestive juices flowing as well.
Probably gets the salivation going too.
Yes, and if you are experiencing constipation, I should have brought this tea with me too, but this traditional medicinals brand of tea, which they have at Target, they have a tea called Smooth Move. So if you're experiencing constipation occasionally, you can drink that tea and it will get things moving pretty quickly in between 6 and 12 hours.
A more natural approach to get it moving.
A more natural approach rather than taking a laxative, but it really does work. So you want to be mindful of
be ready
for the next day.
Yeah, just in case you get some of this.
Because it does the job.
Good.
But it's a nice, it's just herbs. It's orange and fennel and lemon and cinnamon, I think, in there. But also peppermint is a very soothing tea for your digestive tract if you have an upset stomach or anything like that. So if you're experiencing more of the diarrhea type of a situation, peppermint, ginger is another really good. This is ginger root if you're not familiar with it. It's just a root. You can get this at any grocery store as well. I do not peel it because my acupuncture friend said that her Chinese medicine teacher told her that all the good nutrients are in the peel. So you keep the peel on it. I just chop a couple slices of it up.
Interesting. Good to know.
And put it in some hot water. You could add it with your lemon, or you could add it with the peppermint. And then I brought, this is just a jar of bone broth.
Yum.
And you can see it's kind of thick. It's because it's really gelatinous. There's a lot of collagen in bone broth when you're cooking, you know, a carcass of maybe a turkey or a chicken legs, any of that kind of stuff. Save the bones when you eat that kind of thing. And you just boil, you cook them with, you can cook them in an Instant Pot, you can do it in a crock pot or on the stove top. Bones, maybe some onion, carrot, celery. I always put a little bit of that in my bone broth and cook it. And then you can drink this, or you can use it to make soup. It's really economical and really, really good for you.
The nice thing about making it is that you don't add extra salt. Sometimes when you buy it, you have to be careful because they put a lot of salt in bone broth. So
you don't want to salt it. You can salt it after you're done.
Right. Yeah. So if you make your own, try your Instant Pot. I just did that. It was really tasty. So
yeah, it's a great way to make it. And then just quickly, some other foods that are. I have this little handout. If anybody wants to contact me, I can. Is it upside down? This is so confusing. There we go.
There we go.
Therapeutic foods for digestion. So you can just send me a little. You can.
Yeah, we'll put it on there. Yeah,
I can
get it to you.
Yeah. So things like pineapple, they help. They have enzymes in them, so they will help break your food down as well. And cabbage juice. I have never personally had cabbage juice
either,
but it's
like cabbage,
really good for ulcers. So if you have ulcers, if you juice cabbage, it's very, very healing. And okra is one of the most. It's super mucilaginous, if that's the right word. It's full of mucus, but it's really, the mucus is really healing to the lining of your intestines. And if you're having trouble with regular good bowel movements, you probably need to feed the good bacteria in your gut, which can help things get moving. And one of the best foods for that, besides leafy greens and other things, is Jerusalem artichokes, which are not like regular artichokes. They're more of a root-looking. They look a lot like ginger and turmeric.
Okay.
And I haven't seen one in a regular grocery store in a long time, but I know Whole Foods
or your natural food.
And you can shred those and put them on a salad, or you can cook them up. They're supposed to be really creamy. I've only ever shredded them and like them that way, but they feed the good bacteria in your gut. So.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Stephanie.
Thanks for having me.
You guys learned more than you probably ever wanted to know about digestion and your stools. So great information from Stephanie Ewalls from Out of the Woods Nutrition. And we'll put a link to her information, as well as maybe if you guys want this little therapeutic chart, we can get that to you. So just post a comment in the link below and we'll get that out to you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.